Hello, welcome back once again. In today's video, I bring for you critical listening as a means of developing divergent views. So let us move on to the first topic, that is what is critical listening. Critical listening is an active process whereby the receiver taps his prior information as he listens to the sender, and in the process he evaluates the content shared by the sender. So as he's evaluating, he also questions the assumptions made by the sender. So as we can see, the critical listening moves a step ahead than active listening. In active listening, the listener is no doubt involved in the process of listening in terms of paying attention to the sender and also trying to note down points, important points, as the sender is communicating. But critical listening not only involves the active listening, whereby the listener concentrates on the information, but he is also involved in the process of tapping his background information or trying to reflect on his prior information on the basis of what the sender has communicated. So the information shared by the sender is understood in depth and also is evaluated on the basis of the prior information that the receiver has about the particular topic. So in this way, I would say that the critical listeners, they become thoughtful listeners. And therefore, I would say that critical listening involves the critical listeners to include, or rather to become critical thinkers. In critical thinking, you not only analyze and evaluate the information, you also come up with your own perspectives. You also generate new ideas, and that is very important nowadays. It is very important from the perspective of involving oneself in group discussions. It is important when you are participating in debates. It is important when you are participating in thoughtful discussion, or when you are trying to come up with innovative ideas, when you're doing a research. It is very important. So it is mandatory for all of us to be critical listeners so that we can come up with different perspectives about a viewpoint. So let us understand the process of critical thinking with the help of this video.
Hello Sagar.
Hi, Gupika.
Did you saw my post yesterday on Instagram? This one.
Yeah,
I feel from past 2-3 days I have gained this experience that Instagram and other social media are very informative and it helps you gain so much knowledge. It has helped me gain knowledge in cars and technology, which I can apply in my studies.
yeah, that's great. But like now, I was scrolling through Instagram itself. See this. There were kind of more of entertainment stuff where you can see these cartoons and everything. Like it takes most of the time. So it's great that you had this experience.
I agree, but I think that information and knowledge reads are more than the entertainment stuff. You just have to search for it.
Okay.
In this video, you can see that the sender and the receiver, they are engaged in a process of communication, whereby the receiver listens attentively to what the sender is communicating. Not only that, we can understand that he is trying to tap his background information on the perspectives of the sender, and also tries to develop his own perspective. So he is involved in the process of thoughtful listening. Moreover, when he understands the perspective of the sender, he accepts the perspective of the sender, but at the same time, he comes out with his own perspective and provides evidence towards his perspective. So now we have understood what is the process of critical listening. Let us look at another video.
Hello, Alice. How are you? So, do you know about AI?
Yeah.
AI is artificial intelligence, as you know. So, I have been meaning to tell you that AI is very important and useful in our day-to-day life because it gives you data and data collected from a very large source, and also gives you very analyzed and detailed report of every thing which you
Yeah.
asked.
But I don't agree to that because there are few points where AI is very wrong. Ethically, it's not right to just copy someone else's work. So you are not doing your own effort.
But we can also access all the research papers and all the data which is being previously stored in the internet, and we can get benefits from it.
Yeah, but no, it's not like that. You just get it online and you don't have to do any work for it. But I feel if you actually go into the internet, do your own research, you'll get a lot more authentic and worth meaning worthy data, which is
But
good.
the time invested in the internet is very much, and the commands and prompts we give to
But
the
that's the
AI.
whole point of doing your own research. Research and development takes a lot of time. That's the reason. ChatGPT is not good in that terms.
But I feel AI gives you a lot of liberty and lot of freedom to give to get all the data collected, and then also the report and presentations they make.
No,
So
I don't think so. Because if it comes to a report and presentation, you just put in your title, what you need, and AI just writes it down for you.
right. So what is
But
the
I
problem
don't
with
think.
that?
What's the problem?
In this video, you can see that the sender, starts with the process of communication by talking about a topic called artificial intelligence. Gives information about artificial intelligence, and from the information we understand that those are factual information. The receiver listens to the sender attentively, and also indicates through nonverbal gestures that he is listening. So we can understand that he's also being a thoughtful listener, as he's tapping his background information and also trying to develop his perspective. But a little later, we also find that the receiver disagrees with the viewpoint of the sender. And not only that, he does not accept the viewpoint of the sender at all. In fact, he tries to impose his own viewpoint at the sender. So this becomes an argumentative video. So in this kind of argument, the receiver is not actually behaving like a critical listener, or rather, he is involved in the process of critical thinking, because he is not trying to understand the perspective or accept the perspective of the sender. So, having understood this, I will now take you to the next part of my talk, that is understanding critical listening. So let us understand the process of critical listening. So critical listening is a process whereby the listener either agrees or disagrees with the sender. Now, this agreement or disagreement is not done in a argumentative manner, or is not done in order to humiliate the sender, but it is done in order to appreciate the viewpoint of the sender and be flexible while accepting the viewpoint of the sender. So the critical listener is fair, in his judgment was the content shared by the sender. That is, he accepts the perspective of the sender, but at the same time, he is able to assert his own perspective. So I will say that a critical listener has the ability to distinguish between a message based on opinion and message based on facts. So if the message is based on opinion, the critical listener may not be very keen in giving importance to the message. But if the message is based on factual information, then he accepts the information because it gives him a new way of looking at a particular aspect. And this is very important for the critical listener from the perspective of not only participating in group discussions, but also in participating in debates, and also from the research perspective, it is very important to develop your different perspectives. So I would say that a critical listener is therefore involved in critical thinking. And in the process of critical thinking, you are mentally judging on the viewpoint of the sender. And so having said this, let us now deal with an example. Suppose if have to give a talk on blog writing or on blogs to a group of people or to an audience who doesn't have much knowledge about blogs. So it's not necessary that if you do not have knowledge about a particular topic, you cannot become a critical listener. You can still become a critical listener. So I will show you how it can be done. So for example, when I'm talking about blogs, since I know that my audience do not have much knowledge or a deeper knowledge about blogs, so therefore I will start with the structure of blogs. I will talk about the content that can be shared in blogs. I can talk about how people can connect to many people while writing blogs and share your content by generating links. And this is how I talk about blogs. At the end of this, I also say that blog writing can be considered as a promising career, because it can generate money, and that is really very attractive. So when I say this, as an audience who doesn't have much information about blogs, still the audience can be involved in critical thinking or critical listening. And that is they can understand that the information which was shared at the beginning, that is the structure, the content, how you can share it with people, how you can generate the links, all this information is based on factual information. Whereas the information that I've shared at the end, that is, blogs can be a promising career in terms of generating money, or in terms of generating attractive income. That perspective can is an opinion shared by the sender, and the critical listener can come up with this perspective about the sender by saying that the sender is not a blogger herself. So, in this way, one can involve herself or himself into the process of critical listening, even though you do not have prior information about the topic. So, the process of critical listening can begin by just trying to be attentive to what the sender is saying and trying to differentiate the of information that is based on facts and the information that is based on opinion, and thus we can involve ourselves in the process of critical listening. So, having said this, let us now deal with another example. Suppose I'm associated with a publication house that is involved in the process of publishing textbooks for school children. Now, these textbooks are really good in the sense they have activities that is related to involving the learners in the process of learning, and is also related to forming groups and encouraging the concept of collaboration. So as a as a as an employee of that particular publication house, I have to go and advertise this textbooks to a group of people or with teachers in different schools. Now, if I do it directly, if I do this advertisement directly, it may not be appreciated by people. So I have to go for an indirect way, or rather, I have to think of some other alternatives in order to attract my audience. So my alternative will be that I should first of all understand that there could be critical listeners, trying to evaluate my information that I'm sharing. So I should be very careful to provide information that is based on facts. So if I talk about the need of reading books, the need of involving the learners in the process, the need of collaboration, the importance of collaboration, and thereby give a background information about how these books are good, or how activities are an important aspect of allowing the learners to learn on their own, or giving them the responsibility to learn on their own. So while I'm doing this, I am trying to actually come to the point where I'll be talking about this publication house. So instead of directly talking about this publication house, I can show a comparison of how there are schools or there are institutions who have implemented or have used these books, and how the teachers have used the activities in order to engage their learners, and how they manage their time, and how it was done effectively, and how the learners improved. If this factual information are provided, then automatically the audience is attracted. They understand that it is a factual information. They start accepting your viewpoint, and they also respect your viewpoint. At the same time, they can come up with their own perspectives of how to involve the learners in the learning process. So, having understood this, I will share with you a video. From this video, you can understand the process of critical listening in a much better way.
Good afternoon, sir. I wanted to opt for mechanical engineering. So I was hoping that you could please tell me more about it, how to actually opt for it.
Okay, so basically, if you are thinking for a mechanical engineering, first of all, listen that there are two sub branches in mechanical engineering. The one is automobile engineering, and the second one is automotive engineering. So basically, in automobile engineering, it is totally depend on mechanical work. For example, if you are interested in manufacturing, if you are interested in the repairing process, so we can say it is like a technical skills. It totally depends on your technical skills. Then automotive engineering depends on your creativity skills, like your sketching, designing, how you design a car model in some software. We can say. Then the other thing is it is for automobile engineering. This totally depends on your experience, like in how many industries have you worked for which industry. And for automotive engineering, we can say it is totally depend on your design and your innovative sketches that you designed previously. Then the last but not the least, we can say In automobile engineering nowadays, robots and automotive machines are used, so there is no requirement of human beings. And in automotive engineering, we can say it is totally depend on human work, like how you design. It depends on your visualization, your creativity. So that thing cannot be done by some robots and artificial intelligence. So basically, we can say both of the automobile as well as automotive engineering, it is one of the same thing.
But sir, as you had said, isn't automotive more theoretical aspect of it and automobile more practical? So isn't that a bit different from as you said?
No, but according to the what we can say procedure, it is one of the same thing. You can, if you are doing mechanical engineering, you have both the bases. Whether you can go in automotive engineering as well as automotive.
So having said this, I would like to thank all of you for your patient listening.